It needs to be over here. How could these people see it circling their head? It needs to be over here. So it doesn't work on the... And Banjo's like, no, the flat earth map is right. I know it's right. Okay, yeah, I feel it's right too, Banjo, but what if it does this? Well, I'm still going to believe it. You're going to believe this map if somebody in Antarctica sees this? I mean, people don't even think, like, legitimately, if...
So I got this on my wall, bro. So am I like an agent, bro?
Well, I have called out every single person that I've shown evidence to that doesn't work, especially Jeran 8 years ago, that the sun actually rises south of east and sets south of east, so west on the map. So the sun would have to circle off of it. And then, so listen, the virtual reality or the however word Chris likes to use
southwest, right? Instead of southeast.
It rises from underneath the AE map and comes onto it and then circles off the outside of the map. That's
any reason. No, but you'll notice what it just did. Look where it's rising. Now you've got Ronnie and Jason, all these retards that can't pay attention. That are like, oh, it rises in the south of east and it sets south of west. Yes, and that's exactly what the ray diagram calls for. Notice, this would be rising south of east and setting south of west. But the sun is over here. The sun is going around the earth like this. Okay? Again, it would rise south of east, set south of west. So back to this. This is why when I heard Duffy or somebody say that recently, they're like, oh yeah, it's got to rise over here. No, 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 no. And these things will all be clear before. I'm not going down there if that's your guys' assessment. Because even if the sun is doing this, like I just showed, it can do this. It's what the ray diagram calls for. So again, what it really should come down to is, does the sun set? Or does it circle? One of those two things is true. And I think that it makes a huge...
One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the other before I finish my song? Now look very carefully, because one of these things just doesn't belong here. Is it the apple, or the ice cream cone, or the mitten, or the hamburger? Well, if you guessed this thing is not like the other, if you guessed this thing just doesn't belong, if you guessed this thing is not like the other, well then, you're absolutely correct, because all of these things, the apple, the ice cream cone, and the hamburger, are things you can eat. But did you ever try eating a mitten?
Doesn't work. So we have what's called a stereographic map. And what it does is you can click on anywhere in the map and you could change the complete organizing of it and it's still accurate completely. And it's called the stereographic map. You can turn it into a sphere. Right, you can project it to a sphere. It's the only way you actually can.
Just said that same fucking
that
point.
Is how they created the sphere. They made the stereographic map in it was 94.
Again, yeah, you
the
can make
CS
this a sphere.
Pierce.
It'll work. You can make.
Yes, well,
anything.
that one is a sphere projection. What happened is they took Antarctica and stretched it out to infinity. It is an actual the equidistant map that you have is actually a sphere stretched out from the bottom so that they could show everybody where the land masses would be. And that's why you can track the sun going around the equator. You can actually still use it to track things. But what's wrong is that the lines of latitude need to go back to 0 in the south. They go outwards to infinity and it doesn't work. The stereographic one, it does away with that. It actually makes all of the lines of latitude and longitude perfectly. You can measure anywhere on the earth and you can put it in any organization that you want. You click on any country. You put it in Florida and then it moves the map and it orientates it to that location. It's completely interactive and limitless.
It needs to be over here. How could these people see it circling their head? It needs to be over here. So it doesn't work on the... And Banjo's like, no, the flat earth map is right. I know it's right. Okay, yeah, I feel it's right too, Banjo, but what if it does this? Well, I'm still going to believe it. You're going to believe this map if somebody in Antarctica sees this? I mean, people don't even think, like, legitimately... If that is seen, how do you believe that? What would you think then? Oh, it's a simulation that somebody intended to look like a ball, but it's not a ball. Who cares? If it does that, admit that you're wrong and admit that the only thing that explains that is a ball Earth. This is just me being honest and people can't stand it. They cannot take honesty. This is what I'm talking about. What I'm saying should just be matter of fact and everyone should go, yeah, he's right. I mean, it's true. Right, if this happened, then it wouldn't be this map. Yeah, that's right. Jeran's right. That's it. It's not even hard to do because it's honest. Everybody else is just spiraling. But no, it could be a sun simulator, it could be a projection, it could be a mirrored thing. And
I just want to show people something. Jason's actually figured out a way to make a dome so we can get your stupid Freemason psyop firmament dome, which firmament means rakia, which means sky, right? The heavens, the place where the birds fly. So Jason's built a dome here around your stupid 60,000 mile ice wall, which is retarded. Because if you if you take a path that's not due south, you won't hit ice. Never. The only time you do is if you go 180 degrees due south. Okay, here's your dome, right? Boom. There, Jason's now encapsulated your snow globe, fake Freemason, UN, flying in outer space pizza model. Okay, stop right there. Can we hover over top of that? I want people to think, okay, if the AE map and the dome was real and the stars, the fixed stars, were on the outside of this model, attached to the dome, so-called Freemason psyop. If I'm in Canada, if you put your cursor there, if I was to look at the night sky, the Big Dipper circling in the sky, I would have to look through Russia, through the sun, to get to the dome on the other side of the map. That is absolutely retarded. That is not the way that we see the stars. People in Canada see the stars in their circle of sight. This model and this map is so retarded, and it was brought out so that they could psyop you and take down the flat earth. And they basically have via YouTube.
This is one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard in my life.
Right? You cannot see through Russia and the sun. If the sun is set for Canada, swing the moon around. Let's use the moon now as an example. If the moon was in Russia, right, you'd have to see through the sun all the way across the map. This is an impossibility. It couldn't be more plain and simple than that. I hope everyone is getting what I'm saying.
No. Okay, so as this is coming around, how would it be that the reflection of the sun and this sun morph together and become one, while the setting sun, we never saw it set, it just morphed into this mirror sun? We're going down, we're going to have our cameras on it for 72 fucking hours. So we would see that. Hey, guys, the sun just set, and then we saw it. Now we know that the sun in the south is a mirrored image. We would know that. But people want to just listen to Leslie make up shit about, no, the north, it bends up and out and then down and in. Up and in and then down and out. Leslie, how come these people see the sun, but these people see darkness? Because the north and the south are the same. See, it's metaphysical. You don't understand. Ancient books said it. It's the north up and out and the bottom down and south. Oh, and people are like, Jeran, Leslie's model proves it. What are you talking? He's talking gibberish. He's talking gibberish, and he's making fun of all you who believe in this map anyway. So again, we would know that. If the sun sets, how are they going to put up a fake sun in perfect time to go this way? Isn't that going to be weird that the sun's coming, and then we're going to see a sun coming over here? It's like, whoa, here comes the sun, and then there's a sun going this way. Well, that's weird. I guess we don't need to report that to anybody. Let's just not tell anybody that there was two suns that morphed into one. It's not a big deal. Again, it sounds ridiculous because it is. And again, I know I said these are, if this place is where they take us, the sun can't do this. How is it lighting the other side of the earth? If we're over here, the sun can't do this. It's got a light over here. Can't do this over here. It's got a light over here. So as much hard time as everybody wants to give Duffy, and always, he actually came up with a pretty good observation. Don't let Nathan Oakley get it.
This tool here, Flat Earth Model Stars. This is a Glober debunking the AE map and model right here, showing you how ridiculous it is. So this is where our video came from. This is what the tool does, is it shows how this is the southern tip right here of South America. So just imagine placing this over here and then seeing how these stars, none of these are labeled, none of them have rise and set angles, but in order to have your constellations rotating through your night sky, when you're looking south down here, you would actually have to be pulling the stars that are on the other side of the dome over here, having it warp around and come into your eyes as you're looking away from them, right? It's crazy. So just seeing animations like this show how stupid the pressurized pizza dome is. Like,
yeah, not irrational.
Yeah, it's worse than a globe. Much worse.
Yeah, way worse. The only way to actually represent it is to have the underside with the Winkle triple projection, like we already showed everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's the correct way, where everything can be aligned and measured.
So, Yeah, we did cover this. Look at this. This is
Again, this is impossible. Okay, it doesn't work. So that's why we've all said it doesn't happen. That's why there's no evidence for it. That's why all the evidence points to this not being the case. If they're going to fake it, which they have to, let me go down there and film it. Let somebody go down there and film it. Stop discouraging people from doing real world observations in exchange for sitting at their house and thinking Nathan Oakley is a god for making fun of people and yelling obscenities. One of those is an admirable thing to do. One of them is a dirtball thing to do. Stop promoting dirtballs. Okay. Anyway, did I need to say anything else? So it's none of these other places. We know the sun goes this way and does this, so there's no reason for it to ever do this. Okay. If you're going to try and do it to prove it, which I'm all for. Again, I would love it if somebody did show it, because what I would do is say, I'm out. There is an explanation for this on a flat earth. Now, in all my research and everything I've tried to do, I realized pretty quickly, wait a second. If the south is pushed to the outside, then there is no mechanism that would ever say the sun should go backwards. Then go backwards this way. Right? Doesn't make any sense. Right? At a certain point, once I pass 23.5 degrees south latitude, the sun no longer will ever be seen in front of me. We know that the sun circles on the southern tropic. There's a problem. On the globe Earth, as I'm walking south and I pass that point where the sun is now behind me, they say the sun comes back around the other side and I will see it in front of me. And I asked my wife, does that make sense? And she totally got it. She's like, oh, geez. She's like, if that happens, there's only one explanation. The only explanation is you went upside down. There's no other way that a sun can all of a sudden switch and go the other direction. It's going this way. How could all of a sudden it go this way? And if you can't figure that out in your head, I can't help you. It should tell you that it's a very good idea by Duffy, because it will really be the moment that I will know one way or the other.
First of all, there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica. But he thinks if he sees something right there, he's going to, this map is wrong. No, it's easier that they are going to fake one there than this map to be wrong based on all the data that we have accumulated over these years.
Yeah, that's why I say that it's not gonna happen. Do you understand what if means? Can nobody use their fucking brain? I just bet $500 that the sun's gonna set. I've said for 9 years, the sun sets. It doesn't go around your head. Because if it does, then our model is falsified. That's called being honest. If you don't like it, suck it.
This whole thing, man, it's
hurting your pussy. I know your pussy hurts.
It makes no sense.
Said that from day one. And then I go into, if there is one and everyone falls apart. What do you mean? Because I said if there is an observation that's impossible on our model, then that would call into question our model. No, everyone goes, oh, no, it wouldn't. We can still be flat no matter what observations we see. There might be 35 suns, Jeran. You don't know that there's not 167 suns, Jeran, and there's sun over here and a sun over there. We don't know. We do know. We do know. But we don't know what the light in the sky is. We know that it provides light and heat and works its way around in 24 hours. So it cannot go at midnight behind somebody on the outskirts of our model and be on the other side of the earth above Australia. Unless you want to think about how everybody laughed at Pac-Man. Now you guys are believers in Pac-Man. The sun somehow is morphing through one side of the earth and coming out the other. Both people are saying, oh, but Jeran, they could use a sun simulator.
This can't be real.
I need to sit down.
This can't.
Pim, we need to take this to the grave. We cannot tell anybody. This changes literally this changes everything.
No, I know. We can never tell. We can never tell.
I
anyone.
might actually puke. Get back a little. I'm gonna puke. Stay back.
Oh my.
I'm gonna throw up.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw up.
The earth is flat, Charlie.
I know.